This is Remix Report with your hosts, DJ JD and DJ J Spring.
Today's video brought to you by YourDJDrops.com, the nation's hottest DJ drops.
What's up, everybody? Happy Memorial Day from Remix Report. I'm DJ JD.
I'm DJ J Spring.
And it's another weekend recap.
Yeah, it is.
For Memorial Day, which is the 30th.
It was a very busy weekend for both of us. I'll let you go first.
Alright, well, it all started Thursday when we had our very first Scorpion Bar Rock DJ battle, DJ JD versus DJ J Spring.
It was more of a showcase than a battle.
It was actually a lot of fun.
It was kind of fun, and we didn't use our wave little forms in Serato at all.
Because what we ended up doing was we went song for song all night, back and forth. It was fun.
It was fun. It was definitely something different. It made me think a little bit more. I had to get out of songs that I've never gotten out of before, so it was a little bit of a challenge.
We couldn't see each other's laptops, so we couldn't see when the song was ending.
We had to communicate to each other to let each other know if it's a 4-bar chorus, 8-bar chorus, or I would tell JD the one I'm mixing in has a 16-bar intro, so don't like cut yours off after 8 bars. So there's a lot of communication involved.
And there were a few mistakes made.
There was a few
along
mistakes.
The way. But
you know, sometimes I did the thing where you kind of scratch out of a song a lot, and if it didn't end in if it ended in a weird beat pattern, sometimes the scratch would sound off. So if we had practiced it ahead of time, it would have gone a lot better. But overall, it was definitely fun.
But next time we do it, it will definitely be better because now we have some experience.
You know, I talked to the manager after, and I said, what do you think? Because I told him, the way I felt about it is that I really thought that if either of us had done the night solo, it definitely would have sounded a lot cleaner. But I think it was like more fun for even like the crowd that we were doing this. So,
even though they didn't know what the hell we were doing at all, but they saw us both up there, both DJing. It looked like at the same time, but they really were. So I think.
I mean, there was times that we were
doing.
Good energy. You would throw in like a acapella loop over what I was playing, or I would do the same. And then like one time I think you had me loop out of it, and I looped acapella out from the loop, and you mixed into that.
There, so yeah.
It was fun.
It was definitely fun. And the night went by really quick.
It did go by actually quick. Plus I was drinking, that helped. Make it go by quick too.
Yeah, we got kind of lit.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday. And then Friday was a good friend of mine, Lindsay and Dan. It was their wedding down at the Ocean House in Rhode Island, which is an amazing venue. And provided sound outside for the ceremony, and then went inside for the reception. It was really crazy hot out, and it was one of those venues that has the worst load in. Like, you actually had to push stuff up a ramp, you had to go upstairs, there was no elevator. It was horrible, but the wedding itself was amazing, and I'm gonna have a promo video coming out showcasing that wedding pretty soon, thanks to John Green from In Living Color for doing that promo video.
You got the dude from In Living Color? Does he know? Is he friends with like the Wayans brothers?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations to Lindsay and Dan, by the way.
Definitely. They're on their honeymoon, having fun somewhere. And let's see, then Saturday I went up to Boston to the estate, and I was kind of thinking that it was going to be kind of dead because as Boston is one of those towns that it's the biggest college town in the country, possibly the world, so when college is out, everything kind of dies. But it was actually really busy and a really fun night, so that was a good way to kind of wrap up the weekend.
Nice. My weekend, Friday, I was at Scorpion Bar. Saturday, I was at Scorpion Bar, and it wasn't a very busy weekend actually. I mean, Memorial Day weekend was all the beach places opened up because we're right on the coast here, so we got a lot of beach spots, and they all had their grand openings, so I think that definitely took away. But Sunday I was actually at the beach and for one of the grand openings, and it was like one of the best gigs I've ever had. It was absolutely amazing. Just the crowd, it wasn't the biggest crowd I've ever DJed for, but it was just so much energy. It almost reminded me of, it actually reminds me of two things. It reminds me of like kind of a wedding where when you have like a good dancing crowd and you play like Celebrate and just everyone's like having fun. That's what it was, except I wasn't playing Celebrate. I was playing like house and hip hop, and they loved it just the same. It It also kind of reminded me of the late night parties I used to have with some of my friends. We had like girls over. We put some songs in the iTunes, and we just play like old bad boy stuff, and everyone just wasted and dancing. That's what it kind of reminded me of. And singing along all the words.
It was just a
every
party.
song. It was just a party. You don't really get that in a club atmosphere. A
No.
party. This was like a party, and it was a lot of fun. And I had so much stuff that would normally annoy me. There was some people talking to me when I was trying to mix. I had that. I had what else? My records kept skipping because the tables they gave me weren't very sturdy, and there were dancers on the stage, and it just every time the dancers would jump, the record would skip, and it was kind of crazy. I couldn't see my computer that good because of the glare. A guy actually opened a bottle of champagne and was spraying it everywhere. It got actually on my turntables and my laptop. And all this stuff, normally anywhere else, I would have been really, really, really
You
mad.
would have been going crazy.
I would have been very mad. But I was actually so happy about this gig, it didn't even faze me.
That's awesome.
But that night, I DJed at Scorpion again the night, and I had sand all over my records. I had to keep cleaning my records off the whole night, and I was still happy about it.
Nothing like getting sand on your needles.
No. So that was my weekend.
So you're going to be DJing there a couple other times this summer too, right?
I got about 7 or 8 more dates, yeah. Shout out to Joey G.
Well, hopefully all those are just as good.
I hope so.
Or better.
I'm definitely looking forward to them.
Good start to the summer.
Yes.
And thank God it's here, although it's been crazy humid. And I've been sweating like crazy. But
Anything else you want to share?
these bright lights too. I'm getting a little hot right
I know
now.
we're going to have to fire up
Hot
the AC
flashes.
pretty soon.
Alright.
Now on to the random topics that we always do.
So I guess we should probably talk about Bezo.
We should talk about
Now
Bezo.
that Henry is back on the scene, it looks like.
It's just very, very sad. Because I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the past recap, but I'll go into this anyway. Bezo, $20 to put your mix on Bezo. And if you promoted your Bezo page, then you would get a lot of downloads. Most of my mixes, I think, after a month or two would get up to about 2,500 downloads. So I don't even know what 2,500 is divided by 20, how many cents per download that is, but that's a very good deal.
Yeah.
$20 to get 2,500 downloads. When I make my CDs, my physical CDs to give out in the club, I actually make double CDs, so they're more expensive obviously, but I think it's like almost $1 a CD. So I usually get 1,000 done. I mean, it's like $1,000. So in essence, I'm paying $1,000 for 1,000 people to hear that mix. On Bezo, I'm paying $20 for 2,500 people to hear the mix. I mean,
It's a pretty good deal.
it is a pretty good deal. And besides that, you could have all your mixes on one page. It's very convenient,
That deal no longer exists.
unfortunately. So it's very sad.
So I guess the deal is that it was shut down either by, well,
I think
some
the
legal actions. The
RIAA,
RIAA probably had something to do with it, and it's just really too bad because it's not like a site where people are just downloading individual songs for free. They're mixed in a mix. You're not doing individual songs. These mixes are really promoting the songs, I feel, and it's just sad that the RIAA feels they have to clamp down on something like that. But
Yeah, it's well, Henry's gonna keep moving along. He's got a couple other things in the works, so you guys will see those soon. Bezo Blog is obviously still going strong. One of my favorite sites. Also, one thing I wanted to say about Bezo, probably my favorite thing about Bezo, is that it's a site that has naturally generated traffic. So really, to get downloads and to get exposure, all you have to do is put your mix up there, and if it was good, all that would come. It's not like some of these other sites. Like I have friends always telling me, oh, you should check out this site and put your mix on there. But it's not the same, because if I put my mix on there, no one's going to that page. I'd have to promote the shit out of that page to get people to go. Bezo, I mean, I did promote it, but I didn't have to, and I would still have gotten, I mean,
you'd
not
still
as
get a
many
good amount
downloads,
of
but still
downloads,
get
yeah.
a good amount. And that was one of the most beautiful things about it. So definitely really going to be missed.
But this just goes to show that a lot of these sites that we interact with as DJs, whether they're record pools or remix sites or mix sites or blogs or whatever, none of them are guaranteed to be there forever at all. So it goes to show that you really should have your own webpage, your own presence on the internet that you have control over, so that if one of these goes down, you're not left in the dark. Like, a lot of us really started to rely on Bezo a lot for hosting our mixes. And I know I have some of my mixes on my website, but I don't have all of them. And I have definitely slacked on getting them all up there. So now it's kind of crunch time to try and get all those up so they're still available for people. And there's a lot of, especially new DJs, that don't have their own websites at all. Their only website is their Facebook, which doesn't count at all because you have no control over your Facebook either. You could get kicked off of Facebook any day and then you're screwed. So, I mean, it just goes to show that you really do have to have your own controlled website.
You told me the other day, and I hadn't even thought about it. Now there's nowhere for anybody to get our killer mix.
There's not.
So we have to hurry up and put that back up for people to get. So
definitely, because I've had a couple people asking about it too.
Yeah.
So
it's very sad that Bezo's down. I'm kind of depressed about it. And I want to take a second to kind of yell at some of the kids out there who were talking shit to Henry. First of all, the main thing is that Henry hadn't said anything about Bezo. He hadn't said anything in general, and he wasn't on his Twitter for a little while. And everyone's asking about Bezo, and no one knew what happened. So first of all, you shouldn't have even been worried about Bezo at that point. Only when he came out and everyone found out that he was okay, then you should have been asking about Bezo. And the other thing is, I heard that some people were mad about what happened, which no one has a right to be mad about Bezo. The worst thing that could have happened, one, is if you put your mix up maybe the day before it got shut down and you paid $20. Or I can understand that kind of sucks, but I mean, that's kind of the gamble you take. I mean, it got shut down by the government. It's just $20, and it's not like Henry had nothing to do with that. So it got shut down. I don't think you should be mad about that. And the other thing is, if you had your old mixes on there, they already lived their life for the most part, and you got more than $20 out of how many downloads you got off that. So there's no reason for anybody to be mad about it.
no, as unfortunate as it is, definitely not. So a couple weeks ago, we asked you kind of what your favorite part of Remix Report is. What segment is your favorite segment? And it kind of sounded from the feedback we got in the comments. Sounds like a lot of people really like the playlist section, which is cool. I know Spring is happy about that because that was the whole premise the Remix Report was really founded on.
Yes.
And another question I had for all of our viewers is, do you like a 3 times a week or 4 times a week podcast, basically is what it is? Or would you rather have a once a week, longer, condensed version with all 3 or 4 segments together in one version once a week? Or do you like them spread out over the week? I'm not sure which way I necessarily like better, because we've never tried it the other way. But I'm definitely looking for some feedback on that. So let us know in the comments.
Or you can email us, remixreport@gmail.com.
See you next time.
RemixReport.com